Okay, it's close enough to 6 p.m. On Monday, July 17th. And I'd like to open the Newfane Selectboard regular meeting and welcome our citizens who are here, as well as ECTV. Does anyone have any additions or corrections to the agenda? Hearing none, then we'll go on to the minutes. All right, we have the minutes of June. We have 3 minutes that we have. June 19th, we had a regular meeting. Does anyone have any additions or corrections to that one?
Motion to approve as written.
Okay.
Second.
And we have a motion and a second to approve. All those in favor, any discussion? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, moving along to June 22nd, 2017, that special meeting. Does anybody have any corrections or additions to that?
Motion to approve
All right.
as written.
Make second, I'm sure. Second?
I second.
You're seconding?
Yeah.
Yes? Okay.
No, yeah, I said, I'm sorry.
Okay,
I said, I second.
All right, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
It's unanimous. Now on July 10th, we also had a regular meeting. A lot of meetings here. Any additions or corrections to those minutes? We have a motion to approve.
Motion to approve as written.
Okay.
Second.
All right, motion to approve and second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All right, moving right along. We're now into road business. Todd, you have your road foreman's and road commissioner's report?
Yep. She's going to shut the air conditioner off. There. We've been doing ditching work on some of the roads due to all the rain. We are also grading and raking them as well. Crew's been hauling gravel to quite a few of the roads. We've been very, very lucky that with all these storms, we haven't lost any roads yet or any real major problems. But the crew goes out before the storms, usually like today, and went out and cleaned culverts and ditched part of Newfane Hill and did some runouts to help prevent that. If it would ever stop raining, we'd probably get caught up. As far as the equipment goes, the 2011 F350 is at phase forward, having a check engine light problem fixed. The 2017 Mack is at State Line truck service for its first service, and usually the Mack wants you to take the truck over there for its first service so that they can look it over, make sure everything's okay with it. So far I think everything's fine with it, but the guys in our garage serviced the 2013 Mack change oil, greased it, checked it over. The Kinney Pond, the meeting we were setting up with that is going to be August 1st at 9:30 at the pond. Mark Pickering, Christopher Williams, Mike Fitzpatrick, and the Palmer family are supposed to be there. This is to go over what work we'll be trying to get done on that retaining wall. Our new employee, Mike Wynot, has started working for us, and he's doing very well. He worked here for 12 years before, so it was pretty nice because we didn't have to show him where the roads were or what we do on the roads and stuff. He can do whatever, didn't have to take any time to take him around or anything, so that worked out very well. Saved us a lot of training. I'll be on vacation July 20th through the 29th. If there's an emergency and you need to get a hold of someone after hours or weekends, you can always get Jay down to the greenhouse, or if he's not at the greenhouse, he's usually around somewhere, or Steve. September 15th, I did let the road crew know that there will be a get-together here at the town office on the 15th, and they were all very happy to hear that. So.
Great, I'm glad to hear that. But we do have a correction, if that's the same one I'm thinking of. It won't be held at the town office. It'll be at the Newbrook Fire Station.
All right.
Okay. So if you could tell them that, that'd be great.
Yeah.
I did tell them that.
No,
Oh, the guys.
Yeah, I'll take care of it.
I thought,
okay, great, thank you.
Motion to accept as amended.
I second.
Okay.
Okay, we have a motion to accept the road foreman and road commissioner's report as amended. Any further discussion about the report?
I just wanted to make sure, you're gonna leave us your cell phone number so we can reach you during your vacation.
Certainly, I could tell you what it is, but I won't do it on camera.
Okay, that's good.
I don't want the whole world knowing about it.
No, that sounds smart. All right, any further discussion? All those in favor of approving the road foreman and road commissioner's report with that amendment, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, it is
I
approved.
abstain.
And of course, thank you, Chris, for reminding me. Chris abstains. Okay, thank you, Todd, very much. All right, we also have our next item on our agenda is the River Road Bridge deck replacement bids. Let's see, what do we do with this? All right, this one is Alpine Construction. I'm terrible with these things. Not so bad. Watch out. Sorry. All right. All right, we have bids, no bid for alternative A. Alternative B, which is remove the existing deck and beams and replace the beams and install a concrete deck. The work will include installing new guardrail, patching abutments if necessary, and resetting the riprap located at the abutments. And the project total cost is $412,978.
Who's the bidder?
Alpine Construction, I can't pronounce it, but it's Schuylerville, Schuylerville,
They're the ones
New
that
York?
covered bridge.
Would you want to take a look at this, anyone?
I think probably Chris will.
I'm sure. Chris,
I,
you've already seen it?
all these things, I think the state should look at before we make any decision on
It's-
at the highway garage.
All right.
In fact, I know they should.
Did everybody,
Okay.
and you're in agreement with that as well?
Oh, yeah, set it right down, Mark, agreeing.
Okay.
Okay.
Sounds good. All right, we're just reading them today. Although it does say award. Okay. Okay, this one is Cold River Bridges in Walpole, New Hampshire. All right, we do have an alternative A bid. I guess I should read what alternative A is as well. This is alternative A. Lift the existing wooden deck. Remove and replace the existing beams and reset the wooden deck. The work will include installing new guardrail, patching abutments if necessary, and resetting the riprap located at the abutments. And that's $300,000 for that. Alternative B, which was remove the existing deck and beams and replace the beams and install a concrete deck. The work will include installing new guardrail, patching abutments if necessary, and resetting the riprap located at the abutments. That's $383,658. Okay, thank you, Cold River. And one more. This one is coming from Neil H. Daniels Incorporated, Ascutney, Vermont. For alternative A, it's $236,150. And alternative B is $282,775. Quite a difference there.
What's it consist of?
It's the same things. The alternative B is the same as
Yep.
just the same.
I'm not sure how much money we have for that bridge. It's 175 grand. Is it 25,000 or 50 that we bet in that for that bridge now? We put more money in it this year, but I don't know how much it is. So
Well, there does seem to be quite a difference in
yeah,
cost here
Mm-hmm.
between bidders.
yeah, we should definitely have.
So we're going to
Mark
send this
Pickard
to
take a
Mark.
look at it.
Mark,
Yeah,
everybody in agreement with
have
that?
him give us
Um,
some sort of
So
guidance on it.
Shannon, you can take care of that and then get back to us, I suppose. next
They've
time.
all done work for us before.
I'm sorry?
They've all done work here before.
They have all,
Yes,
so you know them all.
I know who they are. Yes.
All right, sounds good. Any further discussion on this?
No,
Okay.
we should, as soon as he can look at that, hopefully do it before our next meeting, then we can award it.
That sounds like a good idea.
Because you
Everybody
had
agree
here,
with that?
gonna be awarded, but you can't do that.
That's true. Just on low price, you can't. Good thing we had you here, Chris. Okay, we are moving on to the administrative assistance report. Shannon?
I have an animal control update. Mike wanted to be here tonight, but he was unable to come. So he asked if I would give the board an update regarding the...
Understand you much better if I could get familiar with the way you
Hold on.
talk.
No, do we have another person in the audience?
No, just in your
My
computer.
computer wants to have a conversation right now. Okay. Regarding the issues on West Street, Mike's having a hard time obtaining the specific enough information he needs to issue tickets.
Okay.
With the exception of particular animals that are still not registered. They were given until today. And when I just went in and checked, they still weren't registered, so he'll be able to issue a ticket, at least on that part. He does have his ID badge, and he was added to the list of issuing officers with the Judicial Bureau, so he doesn't have to come find me to sign tickets, he can just issue them.
Nice, very nice.
So,
Is he covered under the town's insurance? Do you know?
yep. Reviewing the personnel policy, there are some new laws regarding leave time, and I've been reviewing the personnel policy against the new laws just to make sure that we don't need to make any changes. Most of the laws that are coming into effect for this year are just, actually they're just requiring what the town was already doing, so we don't need to make any changes. There will be a few that need to be done to bring the personnel policy into compliance with the ones that are going into effect for 2018. So over the next few months, there'll be some minor changes that need to be done. But Williamsville Hall, I've been asked by a renter if the town will discount the rental for them. It's a 3-day rental for a workshop. It's not a free community event. It's an actual private rental and a paid event. They thought the rental fee was $50 for all 3 days. It's $50 per day. They asked me if I would discount the rate in light of the misunderstanding, but since the board sets the fees, it's really not for me to decide.
I wasn't aware that we had a misunderstanding.
No, there
The
was a
rate is the rate.
misunderstanding, but it wasn't mine.
Yeah.
Garbage and recycle removal at the town office. I've been calling and comparing prices on trash and recycle pickup at the town office. I'm just waiting on one more price so that I've contacted all of them. So that should come tomorrow.
And that's going to the recycling committee?
No, they're only looking for townwide. This is just for the office.
Okay.
We need to get rid of our recycling. And it's a low enough amount that I can do that, so. The Conservation Commission has requested that the Select Board appoint Carol Hesselback to the Conservation Commission to fill the vacancy left by the passing of Bruce. They all were very happy with her offer, so they'd like the Select Board to appoint her. And the week of July 24th through the 28th, I'll be working from home, and when I'm not able to do work from home, I'll be taking leave time to stay with my son who's having surgery.
Thank you.
Sure. All right, thank you very much, Shannon. Do we have a motion to approve, or?
I would
And then
say
we
a motion to accept,
Exactly.
and then we can discuss the
Yes,
items that are
absolutely, that's
listed
what I
here.
actually meant.
So, a
Motion.
motion to accept.
And a second.
I second.
Okay. There's been a motion to accept and second the administrative assistance report. Is there any discussion?
Mhm.
Yes.
With the first item, animal control, I had sent some information to Mike and to Shannon on the same email at least a week ago, but I don't think they received it, so I sent it back to Mike again today.
He
I've
did.
been having a lot of computer problems,
He
I
did get it.
apologize.
That was just so that he could confirm the name of the person.
Yeah,
Yeah,
did he get it?
he knows who they are now.
Oh, okay.
I would think it might also be appropriate to have the constable accompany him, since this is his first.
We don't have a constable.
What's Archer?
He never actually accepted the position, so.
He thinks he did.
Oh. Well,
Tell them to sign the form and send it in real quick.
Yeah,
yeah.
all right.
I had a question about the reviewing of the personnel policy about minor changes. Are these changes federal or state or both?
I don't know. I'm
Okay.
not sure.
How did you get a VLCT
It's giving
alerted you?
guidance on it.
Okay,
So, I'm not sure.
okay. So I'll just put VLCT. On the misunderstanding of Williamsville Hall,
There's no misunderstanding on our part. The building is advertised at $50 a day, and that's the fee, especially for a proprietary event. So,
Did they say, Shannon, have they got to misunderstand this? Have they not read incorrectly? Or-
Somebody had told them. I
Well, I
don't
agree
remember
with
who had
Gary.
told them.
I agree that it should be $50 a day.
They're in there most every day.
Well, this is someone else that's renting it. It's a separate thing, but, yeah.
Somebody's in there.
so do we need to do something after the administrative assistance report about this, or this has to be put on another agenda, or?
no, I think we just,
No, just
we say the fee is the fee.
Yeah.
That's it. There's no
Right.
action required by us unless they don't pay the fee.
So Shannon gets to spread the good news?
Well, it's
Okay.
just a fact.
Yeah.
Either they choose to
Yeah.
take it or
We're not doing anything special here. That's what the fee is.
Yeah.
And that's what other people pay.
Mhm.
Okay. On the garbage recycling removal at town offices, I just had a question about what is the garage doing about their recycling?
We've got a dumpster over there. And the recycling, we just set it alongside. He picks it up. I don't even know what the guy's name is anymore. It used to be Reed, but it's not Reed anymore.
Okay,
I'm not sure who it is.
okay.
It's whoever he sold his
I just was
company to.
wondering what's happening there. And as far as approving Carol Hasselbach, appointing her.
Motion to approve Carol Hasselbeck.
I
a
second.
member of the Conservation.
Absolutely.
Second.
Yeah.
Any discussion? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
And that's unanimous. Thank you very much. All right, we have we need to approve, or accept. We need to accept the report after discussion.
Motion is already out there.
It's out, so all those in favor of accepting the administrative assistance report, please say aye.
Aye.
It is accepted, and unanimously, thank you. We have scheduled members of the public, the Planning Commission, Village Center Designation update.
You have a packet.
Oh my goodness, another big book.
You were so good. Thank you so
It's
much.
good if we have a packet,
Thank
yes.
you.
So the members of Ken SC, myself, and Bob McCandless went to Montpelier and submitted our proposal. Well, we spoke to our proposal for Village Center designation. The staff there had already reviewed and recommended that our application be accepted. And we now have 3 village centers that have designation as VCD with the associated benefits thereof. Village of Newfane, South Newfane, and Williamsville. In your packets, what I provided for you for your review on the right-hand side is our full application that has been accepted, and the letter that came from the Deputy Commissioner of the Department of Housing and Community Development. And on the left-hand side, you have, just for your information, some of the benefits, the municipal benefits I put on top because I thought you'd want those more. And then there is, behind that is all the other documents that went with our application. So it was a long and lengthy process. We're happy that it's concluded. And I look forward to perhaps in September having a representative from the state of Vermont, Captain Cochran, come and hold an informational meeting for people who live or have businesses or residences in the villages to find out how they can take part of the benefits. And that announcement and those dates will be forthcoming.
Do we have a, did you give us a date on that visit?
That date and time will be forthcoming.
Oh, forthcoming, thank you.
We haven't set that yet. We haven't set that date. We have to work that with Caitlin and
Okay.
all of our particular vacation and time away schedules.
Right.
What we are working on, thank you, and we won't talk about the $3 I paid you to come into the next topic, which was we're working on a timeline, and Ken SC and Angela Sanborn have diligently been working on preparing a timeline for the Planning Commission to work on our town plan update. The update to the town plan is due July 22nd, 2018. So we're going to be working diligently. There are a number of areas that the state requires us to have in the town plan. They might have to do with housing, community development, flood resiliency is a big one, land use is a large one, and especially with Act 174, which requires us to have in their solar siting or energy siting to comply with the requirements of the state of Vermont's energy usage in the 30-year goal and the 50-year goal. So that's it. And when we have a timeline now, that I would not overburden you with our 6-page timeline. You can say thank you now, but we will give you an abridged version, perhaps at the next week, if not in a month, so that you can, we will give you periodic updates so you can track along with us. We want to have your input and all the information and input of everybody in the community about what they see for Newfane, not today, but maybe 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. What is their vision? What's going to make them happy? And what really pisses them off? And we want to address that as much as we can within the community. So that's our report. Do you have any questions?
I have a question. First of all, thank you so much. You've been working on this for so long, and to Ken And Andrea, thank you, and Bob. I have a question. I live in the incorporated village of Newfane. And have you communicated with the trustees of the incorporated village of Newfane? And is it workable together, or is there any conflicts between the two at this point?
When we applied for village center designation, one of the requirements, in addition to wanting to be participatory and inclusive, we did make a presentation, or have a presentation to the trustees, and the trustees voted to support village center designation. The village, as you speak, the incorporated village, is all within the village center designation. Mm-hmm. So anyone who has property within the historic village or who is included in village center. Also, people can go online very easily and Google Vermont Village Center designation, and all the information about that, the benefits and the requirements are right there. And this lasts for us for 5 years, at which point we need to reapply.
Okay, thanks. I just want to add one more thing about the village. Todd, thank you. The striping was redone on West Street. Thank you so much for doing that. Yeah.
I just want to thank you for the amazing work that you're all doing. This is not easy work. You really have to have a good portion of analytical skills and research skills and just hard work. And bringing us into the 21st century, I just think this is absolutely amazing, and thank you so much.
And I want to thank the team, Bob McCandless and Mike Young and Ken Essie and Angela Sanborn for their work on this. We have a great team there's no boss. I mean, there's a chair, but there's no boss. We all work really well together, and it's a joy to do it.
That's great.
Thank you.
This was 4 years of effort.
Yeah, I'm sorry?
This was 4 years of effort since the idea first came up through Newfane and New.
Right.
And it was a battle hard fought at times.
It was, yes.
And the planning board took this and has run with it. And my understanding was that at the presentation, the state said this was the best and most concise, most professional application that they had received.
That is what they said.
Yeah.
So that's attaboy.
We did y'all proud.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you so much.
Now they did this at the same time they're working on the town plan.
I know, which is difficult.
Yeah. So
They're dedicated.
a question about the date for the town plan. Is that the date that we must sign off on it, or is that the date that it must be completed?
The timing is that by May next year, we have to have our draft done. At which point we have our hearing. It's the same process we went through with the village center designation. Mm-hmm. So we have a hearing, we take input from the public. We will be doing that all along. But then we have 30 days. After that, it goes, we make a recommendation to the select board. The select board then has a hearing. The select board then has 30 days and can make minor adjustments, and at the end of the 30 days they can move to approve it and accept it, at which point it goes to Wyndham Regional Commission for their review, and if that passes then it goes to the state.
It's amazing you remember all this stuff.
Well, and as you work, yes, Shannon is probably, Shannon is the one, because she keeps us all on track. We would be totally off track if it wasn't for Shannon. So just work with her with all those dates, that would be great.
The time frame looks like it will come to the select board beginning to mid-June.
Okay, good.
Thank you. Okay, thank you so
And we
much.
need to make sure that we are involved in those hearings so that there's no surprises when it comes to us. Mm-hmm. That's part of our homework, to help them out to get this done.
Yep. Thank you.
Yeah, just say a few things about the timeline. It's an internal tool for the Planning Commission to stay on track, and I would say that even really before May 1st, but really April, lots of vigilance on the part of the Planning Commission, working very closely with the Select Board to see us through what I describe as dozens of steps on the timeline. Some steps are very small, some are a little bit bigger, but there's a lot to do, and everybody has to pay very, very close attention because we can't afford a slip up, because we have an expiration date of July 22nd, 2018. So we're under a fairly compressed timeline, but we think we can accomplish the 5 major steps of the town plan between now and then. But really, even in April, we have to be thinking about a draft and what we're going to be doing with it. On another note, while it is true that the Village Center designation goes back upwards of 4 years, and absolutely Newfane and New was leading that effort, I just have to say, as a member of the Planning Commission, I can't use the word Herculean, but maybe Wonder Woman might be the right reference. Certainly, Lynn put in an extraordinary number of hours, and I don't even want to name an hour because it will be an underestimate, but the Planning Commission knows full well what it took for her and Bob, you know, with lots of images and text and all. There was a lot of effort at the very end to get this over the finish line. And the other point is that we were called out in a good way. We sat through the other presentations. We were the last of 8 presentations that day up in Montpelier. But certainly that praise from that board up in Montpelier, I'd have to say, sure, the commission, but I know for sure what Lynn was doing to get us over the finish line. So I just wanted to emphasize that point as a commission member.
Attaboy.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Yes.
Thank you.
And this is for not only Newfane, but it's for Williamsville and South Newfane. They all qualify for this.
Yeah,
And the
absolutely.
benefits can be significant. Excellent.
Thank you so much.
Something else about the
All
sign.
right, that was great.
I
I'm
do
scared.
have one other issue,
Oh,
and I was going to
sorry.
put it on another, but as we were going, thank you, Shannon. As we were going through our process and we had our first walk in the village in South Newfane, there were a number of people who were there who, they're not quite in village of South Newfane, but what we found, to our surprise and embarrassment, is that there is a 4th village called Brookside.
That's right.
That is further toward the east over. I think one of the reasons that I was unaware of it is I never saw anything that said, "Welcome to." Years ago, there was a sign that said,
Yeah, I remember the sign.
and so we had a group come from Brookside and do us a presentation, give us some information, and some good stories and understanding of how vibrant it was at one point. And the sad thing is that somebody came along and sold their sign. They took their sign, they put it in their truck, and I forget who had what was on the license plate, but it was Texas or something, and they took their sign. So, as a representative of the planning board for the Brookside people, they would like a sign. I mean, a physical sign, not this kind of one.
Yes. Okay.
So I don't know how you would like us to go about that procedure and process to request that a sign be placed.
To request signage, you would just write a letter? Was it, no? And then we would put it on the agenda?
How's this been handled in the past?
We've never had, I mean, depends on whether you want like a regular street sign or if you
Yeah.
want something different.
Yeah.
I can get regular street signs, it's just a matter of what you want for wording.
Yeah.
I remember driving through Brookside and seeing a black and white sign.
I think as you come into South Newfane.
Yeah, and it was just about like this, and it was white with black lettering, and it just said Brookside. And I'm trying to think, by driving by, I'm trying to think if it had population. I'm not sure, it might have, but yeah, it said Brookside as you went in.
Unfortunately, I couldn't find anybody that had a photograph of the old sign.
Some of them are like green with black letters, some of them are black on white.
It
That was green,
You used to
green on black letters, and I think it was right in front of Bill Mundell's driveway.
Could be. I can.
I thought it was white with black letters, but then that's
Work
green.
something out probably.
Is that something you
remember.
would have the planning commission request quotes to produce a sign? Or is that something the road crew would work on? I
We
really
can
don't
get
know
the
the
sign,
procedure.
just a matter of where you want to put it. Once we get the sign, I'll get a hold of you.
I'm sorry, say it
I
again.
said, once I get the sign, I can get a hold of you, we can figure out where to put it.
Okay.
It probably would be nice if those members of that community came to us as select board and made a request for the sign there.
I'm thinking that's how it should be.
You know what they want for a sign.
Exactly.
That's right, whether it's
Why order
green
it?
or white or whatever they would like.
Okay,
I
Yep,
agree, do you agree?
we will pass that information along. Thank you.
great,
Thank you.
great work.
Yes. Thanks for adding that. All right, unscheduled members of the public. Do we have any unscheduled? No unscheduled members. Moving right on along. We're doing quite well tonight. A new business, forming a personnel committee. Oh,
Thank you.
thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Nice to see you.
Exciting.
I got it.
All right, forming a personnel committee. I guess I can talk to you about how we've been doing a lot of things for our employees this year because of we should. And we also are going to be under the task of the personnel policy, which requires the select board to ensure that all the employees of the town are evaluated yearly. And so we are going to have to work on that and figure out how, when and how we're going about to do that. I think the best thing, go ahead, Gary.
I understand that in review of some of the employee records, you found that there are not any
That's right.
annual reviews in the files at all.
Well, there are a couple, Shannon has one.
Mhm.
I don't believe, and Shannon, please correct me if, I don't believe that Merle has an evaluation at all. And
Supposed to be reappointed
And
every
he
3
is
years.
supposed to be reappointed every 3 years.
And he hasn't been reappointed since 2011.
And so that hasn't been done. There's a lot of little missteps, and then we need to go through and take a look at the personnel files and try to get them up to date, and also schedule or make sure that each of our employees receives an evaluation this year. And I'm thinking that we need some volunteers to come forward, and maybe two of us can sign on to go through the personnel file, figure out which ones need to be updated and how to go about doing that. We do have a new evaluation form for the road crew. I don't know how new it is, but it's adequate. However, Shannon has, we did look at the one that Shannon gave us, the self-evaluation form. And Shannon has a couple of ideas for changes on that, and that would be for the personnel committee to meet with Shannon or talk to her about that and come up with a draft on that. So we do need a couple of volunteers to step forward and work on and get this moving. I personally think it would be great if we could the select board could complete the evaluation processes through the month of September. Therefore, October could be given over to budgeting as well. As we know, that's a gargantuan extra meeting kind of a thing. So that's just what, this is the discussion. Do I have any discussion from anyone about this? Or anybody want to step forward and help out?
I need to know more about it before I would step up to this. For example, you saying that the personnel committee are the ones who are going to be evaluating.
No, they will be getting all the they're going to be doing research and reference as to what do we have in our personnel file.
And why does this have to be done by September, other than you saying the budget?
Well, the budget comes up, and so that's when we set wages and those
So you're
kinds of
talking
things.
about July and August? I'm going away
Right,
in August, and you're going away in August. I don't know. I mean, summertime, it's a very hard time to form a new committee with the deadline of September.
Well,
How many people do we have to evaluate?
I'm thinking at least,
Not evaluate, but review.
right. Well, we have 2 here, and
Mhm.
we have, is it 6, 5? How many
But those would be done by,
employees? Right, but we still
we
have
just
to
want to
take
make
a
sure
look
that all
at
the
them, yeah.
paperwork is there, all is done.
Right.
What about Peter in the town clerk? He's a contract employee. So,
I don't think we don't evaluate him.
So can you tell me, or us, who you are talking about, who needs to have an evaluation done?
The road crew,
All the road crew. I
And
thought
Todd.
Todd does that.
yes, and Todd. Do you evaluate Todd, or how does that work?
I thought
Never
Todd
have.
and Chris evaluate.
You never
them.
have.
Do you evaluate, you and Todd evaluate the road crew?
Many years as I've been off and on the board, I've never done it.
I mean, wouldn't that make the sense for the people who work
Yes,
together?
but then we would review them. It does, after they do that, we go through and review it. And then make sure that it's now filed correctly in the personnel files.
the personnel policies say that each employee should get an annual review.
Right,
Right.
I understand that.
And these annual reviews
Have not
that's come
been
to our
done.
attention have not been done.
No, I know that.
And we owe it to the employees. This is not about disciplinary
No.
action, that some employee has done something wrong. This is about making sure the employees are given the reviews.
No, I totally understand that. I'm saying, doesn't it make sense that the people who are working together in the crew are the ones who do the work with the employees there, rather than us? I mean, if I'm reviewing an evaluation of a road crew member, what do I know?
We're not doing the reviews. We would only be doing the reviews for the staff that reports directly to us.
No, but Carol said
No.
we would be reviewing the road crew people also.
We would merely see that the road crew's reviews are done
Done.
and placed into their files.
But
We
we're
are
not
not doing it.
reviewing the...
No,
Todd and I should do them.
that's
Yes,
correct.
Absolutely.
absolutely. That's what I think.
Absolutely.
We all agree to that, is that correct?
Yeah, absolutely. They're the
But
ones
then,
who
once
work.
that is done, they need to be submitted to the full board, and then we see that they're done, and they're filed where they're supposed to be filed. That's our job, to make sure that they are done
Mhm.
and that they're filed.
Right, well, Chris and Todd will know if they're done, right?
You don't want to see them?
No, I just feel like if we have a road commissioner and
we
a road
agree with
foreman
that.
doing that, why do I have to double check to see if they're done if he brings it to us and says they're done?
Because,
We just need
So-
to see that they're, that they
Oh,
do in
just
fact
they're
go
in the
into the
file.
file. Yeah,
Oh,
that's it.
That's all.
That's
Just
all
take
oversight.
them and put them in the file. You said we have to review them and make sure they're done.
well, review to make sure they're done.
Yeah.
That's what I
That's what I just
said.
said. Review to make sure they're done.
And they need to be filed, because there are no files, there are no files anywhere, that have been kept, so.
And I think that in terms of the employees' rights, we have a very important person on the staff who has now gone for a few years without being reappointed to their official position. Well, that's that's a real problem, because this person does make decisions that have legal implications. We need to make sure that that review is done and that reauthorization is in place. Otherwise, they have no right to deny someone something that may come before them.
By the way, Carol, I just also remembered that end of July through August is when the Board of Civil Authority meets once, twice a week, several times. We go out to check on properties, we have to write reports, so that's a very busy time.
So when do you think would be a better time?
I have no idea, but not July. I mean, again, you're saying that we're starting this now, right?
We are.
I don't know. Shannon, I don't know what the procedure is.
I think that's what you need to establish is what the procedure is. because I don't
Right,
think
we
we've
need
had
to have
good
a
one.
procedure and a timeline. If we're just starting this now, for me at least, it seems very difficult to get, to say we have to have it done by September. I mean, I can't do it, I'm on board.
Well, it's the whole month of September. It's from now through the entire month of
So
September,
the end of September.
at the end of September.
I mean, this board only needs to review 2 people.
That's right.
The rest is done by superintendent and staff for the road department, and it comes up from them. Whoever is sitting on this committee just merely needs to check to make sure that those were in fact filed in the employee's file, period. So,
Well, in September, I could do 2, if that's what you're saying. I'm not gonna commit to before September, I'm gonna be away, and I'm on board of civil authority.
we're all.
I mean, we,
in the
yes, we
Oh,
all, but some come and some don't,
Yeah,
so.
but I think that we owe it to the employees to let them know that they are important to us, that we will get this done for them by the end of September, for the people who come under us directly, so that we can make sure that they get the feedback they need from us.
And we also, another very important part of that is that we actually fulfill our duty, our duties as outlined in the personnel policy. We are actually doing what we're supposed to be doing.
And we could have the whole board do this at one time, but that then means that we have to post the meeting and sit in front of the public in order to do it. 2 members of the board could work on this, and then as a subcommittee of the board, to make sure that everything is in place, and then the board would only have to do the review process or whatever. So we're not asking a huge burden on any one person.
So do we, so I guess we don't have any volunteers stepping forward to help out, or
I would be happy to volunteer to help out,
maybe?
because I think the employees are important.
Absolutely. In
Wait a
fact-
minute, don't, please don't
I'm
imply
not-
that
oh, I'm
I'm
not saying
saying
that.
that I'm busy in August at the employees.
I'm
I'm
not-
just saying we're just starting this now, and if you're starting a policy now as a yearly policy, and you're giving us a month or a month and a half to do it, it's a little short period of time.
Yeah, I'm not implying anything, I'm just saying that I think we need to get to it one way or the other, because we're not in compliance with what our own personnel policies are.
And this hasn't been done, but I mean, on a consistent basis. I think even Shannon has said that, and she's been here a while. We can just kick the can down the road if that's what everybody would want to do, and just not do it this year, and just, we could just have next year's select board go right ahead and fulfill the duty. I'm wanting to go ahead and at least give it a good college try at fulfilling this requirement this year. But we do need people to help out.
Well, I said that I could do it in September,
Right.
mid to end September. I'm going away. I am missing, I think, 1 or 2 select board meetings, I'm not sure, maybe just one.
Yeah, maybe
In
Mike would
August.
really enjoy doing
Yeah, I mean,
that
Mike's
too.
not here, so we
I
want
know.
to give him
I'll
the
work on the employees, the top.
Yeah, you do,
Excellent.
right.
Okay, so there we
Thank
have
you.
that volunteer. Thank you, Chris.
So remind me again, other than the road crew, we have 2 people in this building, is that what you said?
That's right. We have 2 people.
Okay, well, I said I would do that, I said that before.
That's fine.
Okay. So I thank you very much for stepping forward. And at
But
least,
you and I,
Yeah,
okay. And then Chris is going to
and then
make sure
Chris is
that
going to
all
make
all
sure
theirs come
that
forward.
that's done.
yeah,
And that would be really great, and we actually can leave next year or whatever we're doing, or at the end of the year, we can be in our budget sessions, realizing that we've fulfilled our requirements for this.
so, are you willing to wait till September?
Oh, sure, it's fine with me.
So, do we need any kind of a motion or anything for this, or we're just discussing and people are coming forward?
You
Okay.
don't need a motion for that.
Okay, sounds good,
I
thank
don't
you.
think so.
All right, review, clarification of select board procedures. I think that Marion had some questions and concerns about something, about particular parts of the select board procedures. Do you want to go ahead?
Yeah. Basically, what I said in last week's select board meeting, which I reviewed on TV today, is what I'm going to say today again. And that is that we have a handbook for Vermont select boards that are filled with rules and regulations of what the select board does and does not do and how it is done. And we also have a Newfane rules of procedure for the Newfane Select Board. So in addition to the state, we have our town. And as I said last week, I sometimes am surprised when I hear something being discussed here that I feel like I should have known about, because as a member of the select board, there are 5 of us, and my understanding was, and I confirmed it in a few places today, is that we are all equal, all of us, and we are all responsible as a board to each other. And I know that each person on this board is very committed to this job, and there are just some simple procedures that we do have to follow, and I think that we need to review them, because unfortunately sometimes things get a little bit off of track. And so here's the most important thing, and I'm just going to go bottom line. I did call the Vermont League for Cities and Towns just to make sure that I understand what's going on, and that I am very clear about the handbook requirements. And the person that I spoke to asked me if Newfane has their own procedures, and I said yes. And they asked if I feel that these procedures go along with the Vermont Select Board procedures, and I said absolutely. So basically, there's no conflict there. But if you look at the page 1 of the rules of procedure for the Newfane Select Board, under letter C, organization, number 4 is, in my opinion, the most important single rule that we have, and law, because it's also very legal if we follow the law of what they say, and it's illegal if we don't. And it says, no single member of the body shall have authority to represent or act on behalf of the body unless by majority vote the body has delegated such authority for a specific matter at a duly noticed meeting, and such delegation is recorded in the meeting minutes. Which,
Can you be specific as to exactly what incident you're talking about?
well, I'd rather go in general right now, and I can say one or two things. I'm sort of hesitant to do that.
Do we
Because I
need,
think we all know certain
think
things
we're-
that have
Well,
gone on.
you're making serious allegations. And so I think that for us to act, we need to know specifically who, what, when, where, dates, time, that sort of thing. Because these could have legal implications.
and we may
Yes,
want
we
to
do.
go into a executive session for that
Correct.
conversation.
I would be happy to do that. I think that would be the appropriate thing to do, to go into executive session.
Then you would want to make that motion?
I know that you have a piece of paper sometimes that you refer to, if I want to say it legally.
Well, my piece of paper mostly has for the, a certain provision, that it would not be the same provision. They'll have to rely on,
Is that like personnel, or Shannon, you have something?
So these 3 pages outline how to go into executive session and the reasons that you can go into executive session.
Can you recommend which one I read?
Honestly, no, I can't, because I don't see one that really fits.
Oh,
Having an awkward conversation in public isn't really one of the reasons, but
but is it, can we consider ourselves somehow personnel?
you could. It does say public officer, but it's a disciplinary
Okay.
action, and I don't really think.
Well, it's not a disciplinary, nobody's
Exactly.
being disciplined.
Right. So that's where my hesitation comes in. Because it's
Okay,
not-
what about this first one? A closed portion of a public meeting allowed only in certain limited situations?
Right. That's not one of the reasons. That's just saying you can, but only for those 7 reasons on the next page.
Well,
You could use the disciplinary one, although you can't discipline elected officials.
but this isn't disciplining, is it?
No, it's not.
No. This is not a discipline, this is, what I'm requesting is that we...
That's the closest one I could come
Well, I couldn't go along with saying this is discipline.
to.
I mean, this is, I was saying that we need to have a reminder for ourselves and each
Right.
other of what we can and cannot do.
Right.
But, so you can't,
said
I
that there-
can't just request that we have an executive session to,
Unless it falls under one of those 7.
the motion to enter executive session.
No, keep going. On the next pages, they're specifically titled reasons for executive
Reason,
session.
okay.
And there's 7.
When premature general, not public knowledge, no. Okay, what about this? I'm not sure. When premature general public knowledge would clearly place the public body or person involved in substantial disadvantage? Not really. I don't know.
And that one in particular, the whole board has to decide if it would rise to that or not.
Yeah.
So if the board agrees with you that that one fits, then
I don't know. I mean, certainly, this is not about,
no.
what I want to say is not about disciplining anybody. It's about reviewing some important rules and regulations.
Right.
So here, for example, when I spoke to a person at VLCT, what that person said is, you know, they've been getting phone calls from some neighboring towns who also would like to have review of select board procedures, and they do workshops for towns. And if we would be interested in doing a workshop with some other towns, there would be a fee, we could split the fee. This is nothing about disciplining or
No,
anything.
it's not,
So I don't know, I'm stuck.
it's not reinstating. It's not appointment or evaluating or disciplining or dismissing. It's not a peril to public safety.
So one of the things that the LCT was saying to me was that
Do you care to take a peek?
we only have authority when we are on meetings. We only have authority when we're with the board. And once we leave the board room or the body of the board, none of us have the authority to take action or make decisions, because when we're out of here, we don't have any more authority than our neighbor next door. We can't make any decisions, we can't make motions, we can't do anything. So I think that that's an important thing that we have to remind ourselves of at all times, that we're all equal in the board. There are certain things that the chairperson has responsibilities to do that has been voted in, and there are a lot of other things that just the chairperson is equal to everybody else. And that was another thing they said. They said that we want to make very sure that we only work as a united board, because if we don't, it could present problems to either an individual or to the town. And also it's a protection for each one of us, that we don't do anything on our own. So that not one person has a burden in case there's a complaint or upset or something. So it has nothing to do, in my opinion, about disciplining. It has to do with review.
Now, I make decisions as road commissioner on minor things, which I should do, in
Right.
my opinion. You
Right.
know, on culverts and things like that.
Right.
I make a decision on that
Yes,
stuff.
that's your job.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely, but that's separate from when you're sitting on the select board. That's nothing to do. You're not making a decision as a select board member.
No.
You're making a decision as a road foreman. And each of us in our lives make decisions of our own, but not as a board.
Shannon,
You said that they had a workshop available,
Yes, they do.
and I think that if there are neighboring towns that also are having some of the
She
same
said that
questions.
Jamaica, Townsend, and Wyndham have been calling in lately with questions and requesting, is there a way we could have a review? And I thought, that's a good idea. I don't know if anybody here would be willing to do it, but so I said, well, I asked her what the fee was, and she wasn't 100% sure, but she thought it might be $400. So if we would meet together, let's say with a few other towns, let's say those 3 towns, it would be $100 per town in a 4-town meeting. And I think it's a good idea, but I don't know how anybody else feels.
Well, it seems similar to some of the workshops that I used to go to, but they only hold them in Montpelier now. So I
In
rarely-
Montpelier?
Yeah, so I rarely get a chance to go. And if we think it would be worthwhile, I certainly would be interested in attending, because I haven't been able to go to one in a very long time.
Right. Well, is that something, if people on the board are interested, we could find out if we have to go to Montpelier, or do they
Well, they'll
come?
come down here for that.
Oh,
But it's
okay.
similar to the ones that you can go to, but I never get the opportunity to go to them.
it's similar to the one that we shared with Brookline for the
Right,
open
for the
meeting
open
law.
meeting, yes.
Yeah, except it would be more select board, and I like to go to those because it helps me too.
Yeah, yeah,
But I rarely get to, so.
right. I mean, I personally feel like I could benefit a lot from it.
I know I could,
Reading about it is different than being in a meeting where people interact and you hear different thoughts or feelings about things and have somebody standing up in front of the room.
Well, it also spurs questions too. When
That's what
somebody
I'm-
else asks one,
Exactly.
and that sort of, starts
Exactly.
a whole other line of
So
questioning.
would that be something we'd want to have Shannon look into?
I would love it.
I'd be happy to.
Okay.
How do you feel, Chris? Yeah? How do you feel? Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be fine.
Yeah. I think that would be great. Thank you.
Well, thank you.
So this is the item that you were most concerned about? Item 4, under C, organization?
Yeah, that we all have to work as a body
Mhm.
and that
Mhm.
none of us can work as an individual.
Right.
That's all.
Right.
And that, and of course you can go into more detail on everything, but this is the crux of the matter. And it's brought up many times, in these pages.
Well, yeah, I think we all
Yeah.
pretty much understand that.
Yeah, yeah. So, but I think it would be great to have a meeting, not just with us, with other select boards and hear what goes on there and their questions and.
All right, that's what we'll do.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, we are now moving on to Old Business Employee Appreciation Day. I'm looking forward to the Employee Appreciation Day myself.
Yeah,
I think it was made clear to us at the beginning of this select board year that our employees are extremely important to this town. And I'm looking forward to having an Employee Appreciation Day the first time and celebrate the 20th anniversary of the town garage being built and just having a good time. And but in order to be able to move forward with doing that, again, it takes planning. And this has kind of been my volunteer. I raised my hand
No,
to
you've
kind of
been
do
great
this
to do
one
this.
and to check this one off. And we have a date, we have a
Yes.
place, and we have a couple of ideas from the road crew.
can we just tell the audience what the final date is? That it's
Oh.
Friday, September 15th at 1 o'clock at the Newfane Firehouse that Bob Litchfield was kind enough to reserve that for us.
Okay, thank you. And so we're going to be looking forward to it. Now, there's some ideas that the road crew had. They wanted a particular cook. Cook them something yummy that they really liked, and that sounds great. But we have some other cooks and restaurateurs and things, and I'm wondering if we want to look at prices. I'm thinking if we have a minimum of 12, wasn't it, Shannon? Minimum of 12. And were you able to contact
Minimum of 12 what?
people eating?
That's all?
Well, I think so, but we can find out about that.
Only 12 employees? Oh, I
yeah.
had no idea.
So,
Yeah, that's fine, with the folks here.
Okay.
So,
that
what
is
was I going to ask
possible.
now? I'm totally lost, but,
I'm sorry. You wanted to know about different prices from different...
right, and we do have, not only do we have, who's the fellow from?
John Julian.
John Julian, who was suggested by the road crew as the one they wanted. But we have other cooks as well, and I was wondering if we wanted to have any kind of price information about how much and what can you give us for this celebration day and how much would it cost, and then get at least 3 different ideas and then bring that to the select board maybe next time with some prices and what kinds of food would be provided. I can do that. That could be I'd volunteer to do that and bring it to the board, and then the board could decide what we're eating, what we're serving.
Yeah, what we're serving, yes.
Well, we might eat a little ourselves, but what we're serving to these wonderful employees.
So Carol, do we need to also count, in addition to the 12 employees, like us, and who else might be going?
I'm gonna have Shannon. I just threw 12 out because it kind of sounded about the right amount. But Shannon is the expert. She knows exactly how many people would be eating coming. And she in her great mastermind is
You
going
will have a maximum of 13.
a maximum of
A
13.
maximum of 13.
Uh-huh.
Oh
Because
my
we are
goodness.
just feeding the employees that we hire. Is that correct? Or are we also having?
I mean, we don't have to be included
Well, I think-
in eating.
Well, you have elected people
Yeah,
who are full-time paid
right.
or part-time paid. And
Well,
I think I was
that's a good
counting them.
point. What do you think?
5,
Should we
6,
invite
7,
those?
8, 9,
I think it'd be kind of
15.
difficult to have a Newfane employee event and not include all the people who are on the town
Who
payroll.
receive a paycheck?
Yeah.
That was my
No,
original
that's what I
idea.
thought. That's why I was so
I think it's-
surprised that it was only,
Maybe 15.
15. That
But
was
I know
my
you were
original
not gonna be
idea,
here,
is
so.
to have anyone who
Yeah.
receives a paycheck with
absolutely.
the town of Newfane on it would be invited to celebrate
Yeah.
and actually be appreciated. We do appreciate them all.
Mhm.
So, is that agreeable? Do we need to take a vote or have a motion or anything? We just nod our heads up or down? Up or
So
down?
there's, I think.
Side to side?
Buffer prices, I would say 20, just in case somebody shows up and you don't
Yeah, I
feel
was
like telling
So
them. they're
20?
not.
I would say 20.
All right, let me write
Okay.
that down.
Yeah, if we have,
So we need to
15
get
plus-
prices for
13 is a
20
weird number.
well, that's
individuals.
18.
Prices.
Include
Oh,
us
no, I didn't, I included you in the 13.
And Ken.
The select board's going to be there, right?
Yes.
And you're going to be
Yes.
there? Yeah,
Yeah,
just making sure.
yes,
We're-
we are.
Because you're the, also the conveyors of the appreciation. You're
Exactly.
That's right,
representing
we are paid
the town.
Now, we also discussed last week that we have, what is it, $500 in the budget?
I'm sure that whatever we're doing,
Yeah,
the food is not going to be $500.
yeah.
And then we might
That's
have
right.
a little extra left over and a donation, and might get some businesses to donate a little something
Mhm.
for like fun games, and you win this game, you,
We have
Yes.
a brook that people could use. We
yeah.
can move it over there.
Yeah, but what?
We have a brook.
A
You have
brook?
it too, yeah.
A brook.
We could move the brook over there if we get
We can move the brook over there.
Yeah.
I was thinking a wheel with a select board member on
we
it.
can do,
Give
that's
everybody a
right.
pin and let them stick it.
I'm sure that between Shannon and everybody else in this room, you can come up with some really fun games, and whoever wins the game, they get a little something.
What about M?
And Em could be there too, and Em
Yes,
would get
you're part of
a
us.
prize.
You're
Yes.
part of us.
Well, yes, you are part of us, actually.
Can we write him in?
But these are all ideas that we can talk about and have fun about.
Sure.
I'm really
We got
looking
a
forward
little
to
time
this.
left as
So-
we're making the major decisions.
Let me get some prices, and at our next meeting, we'll get some costs and prices and what they're gonna serve, and we'll vote on it. How's that sound?
It's fine.
That's right. Carol, you're the one who came up with this, and it's such a wonderful idea. I mean, it's really great, and you've been so excited about it, and that excitement has become infectious with the rest of us.
Well, you
Really,
know,
it's such a nice thing that
well,
you
thank
thought
you
of.
so much.
Really.
It was definitely brought to our attention, our whole town's attention, how important our employees are, and how we need to pay more attention to them and appreciate them more. And so we're gonna do it.
Good.
All right, I think that should be time for correspondence. All right, where are
supposed
the
to fling it at you.
correspondence? Yeah, we're here.
I told you I'd fling them at you.
Yeah, fling them. All right, thank you. We have zoning permits. Do I have to read the zoning
No,
permits?
they-
Okay, we have.
As you've got them.
We have from the zoning administrator, we have zoning permit application logs, and we can actually look at these, and if there are any questions, we can go after them next time. So we do have that. Thank you very much, Merle.
Could I see this?
Yes, you may.
Sitting also on the DRB.
We have a note from Lynn Forrest, who was the chairman of the Newfane Planning Commission here, regarding purchase of envelopes. The Planning Commission requests approval for purchase of 4 boxes of stamped envelopes to be used for updating the town plan that has a deadline of July 2018. The expense is $1,187.75. This would be
sort of an after-the-fact approval because they were actually purchased already.
They were purchased already? And where do they get this money? No.
It was in their budget ending.
It was in their
July.
budget. Oh, well, that sounds great. So this is just we're just being aware that this is what's happened.
We should make a motion because.
All right, do we
anything
have a
over
motion to
$200.
approve 4 boxes of stamped envelopes to be used and updated the town plan at the expense of $1,187.75?
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded that we go ahead and pay $1,187.75 so the planning commission can purchase or have pay for the purchase of 4 boxes of stamped envelopes.
And these go to all property owners.
They go to all property owners, I would assume. Pretty sure, yeah. All right, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? Say nay. All right, it is approved unanimously. Getting tongue-tied. All right. We looked like that's it. Oh, nope, there's a correction to the municipal tax rate that we passed last time.
Whoa. Oh, again. They said that would be coming. They
And-
said this would be coming.
Yeah, and basically, we had approved a municipal tax rate at 0.5875. And, oh my goodness, and with the adjustments, it has now come in at 0.5855. So it goes down just a little teeny.
Motion to approve.
And second?
Second.
And we have a second with Chris, and any further discussion? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. It passes unanimously. Okay, that's done.
Do you need to sign that?
Yes, we do need
There
to
is
sign
one you
this.
should sign.
It's somewhere right here.
Is that raining?
Sounds like
Either that or
hail.
the citizens are throwing pebbles at the building.
And I believe that was it, wasn't it?
Yep.
Yep. So now it is time for pay orders. Thank you so much.
Thank you, good night.